YouTube. Welcome back to the Busted Knuckle Workshop. My name is John, for those of you who are new here. I was perusing Facebook Marketplace last night and saw an ad for a chipper shredder, a fairly newish one. Guy said he hadn't run it in a year or two and it wouldn't start, and he was putting it out free at the curb. It was a little after 9 p.m. when I saw it, but it was only 3 miles away, 3.5 miles away, so I figured I'd run up and take a look. It had been listed for over 4 hours, so I didn't expect to find it, but there it was. So I really haven't looked at it. It was pitch black outside, and all I did was I pulled the starter rope to see if it turned over. Felt like it had a little compression for sure, so I suspect it's just a fuel issue. Okay, so as I mentioned, freebie, I haven't really looked at it other than to see it pulls over. So quick evaluation, it's a Harbor Freight model. It's a newer one, and we will, looks to be in good shape. We're going to just see if we can get it to pop off on starter spray first. I will check the oil and we'll move on from there. Okay, I'm having a little trouble with my other camera, so we're going to be shooting this all on the action camera. So if the audio is not as good as you'd like to be, or like it to be, I apologize. So I said it's a Harbor Freight Honda clone. I checked the fuel. It's about half full of not the freshest smelling gas, but it isn't horrible. Check the oil. It's full to the top. The oil could be changed. It's a little dirty, but let's see if it's worth spending any money on first. So just gave it a quick look over. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't at least fire off on some starter spray, but let's check the air filter here. The oil level indicator is down here on the side of the engine there. I'm not going to pop it again. It's on a little bit of an angle, so it spilled out some. I don't see anything bad at the air cleaner here. Alright, let's see if she'll fire off. But I'm going to spray a little brake clean in the air filter and see if we can get this to at least pop. Well, actually, maybe first I should just see if it wants to go on its own. Is, I don't know whether choke's on or off. Alright, let's give it a little brake clean. So I don't recommend buying starter spray. I don't see the point in it. Brake clean works great. Any flammable fluid flammable aerosol will work. I always have brake clean around, so that's what I go with. Wonder if we're getting spark. Take the air filter all the way off for this. You didn't hear me. I wonder if we're getting spark. We'll take the air filter all the way off for this. I have to remember, we got the cruddy microphone today. So. Alright, let's see. Spray some brake clean directly in. So she will run. I suspect if we just clean out the carburetor, we'll be good. All right, moving on. All right, let's see. Looks like a 10 mil. Let's see. Yep, 10 mil for sure. Let's get this bowl down and see how dirty it is. These fuel lines look okay, but this is an airline here. That is pretty dry rotted. Alright, I have no fuel coming out, and it already looks pretty cruddy, so let's see. Oh, yeah. This is nasty. Kind of rusty, cruddy, nasty. Alright, probably gonna have to do some serious cleaning on this guy. Got no fuel flow at all. Bring you back. So guys, as I expected, what happens is the new ethanol fuels break down pretty quick. They will sludge up your carburetor. So if you put a machine away for the winter with fuel in it, there's a decent chance that in the spring it's not going to want to fire off and run. Carburetor's going to need a little cleaning. So I recommend on machines that don't get used often like this, you use a non-ethanol fuel. Sunoco sells racing fuel at a lot of stations. Not at the pump, you have to ask for it. It comes in a can. Or you can go buy that stuff at the big box stores, home improvement stores, that comes in a can. It's not cheap, but you're not using these machines a lot. This machine clearly hasn't had much use at all. It's over $500 machine, and somebody left it at the curb for me. Excuse me. So we'll get on cleaning out the carburetor. Alright guys, so as we established, we have a nasty, dirty carburetor. I could just have the bowl off, pull the main needle out and spray down in there and maybe get it cleaned up, but it's really nasty. I'm not sure whether this carburetor is worth saving. These Hondas and Honda clone carburetors, you can get them for $12–15 usually on eBay, and I don't even know if you can get a rebuild kit. It's so cheap to buy a new carburetor. It's probably not worth doing a rebuild kit. But I'm going to pull the whole carburetor off because it's easier to video, and we will see if we can get this one to run. Looking inside here, I see a little evidence of maybe some critters having been in here. So before we run it for long, we're going to want to make sure we don't have any mouse nests or something. Here in New England where I live, it's a big problem when you store machines for the winter. The mice like to get into them and make nests. I've had machines that wouldn't even spin over because, not because the engine was stuck, but because the mouse nest was that big. So, I just see a little bit of debris in there, that actually a little bit of tree stuff that might be shredding, but okay, that's an 8 mil. I don't often work with these newer engines, so I'm not used to my metric sizes like I should be. And I'm not super familiar with all the ins and outs of these things with all the modern stuff. I like my antique engines, but do what we have to do. Alright, I think we just disconnect that. We should be good to get out of here, maybe. I got another line here hanging us up. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing here. Let's check. Alright, we were able to get the air cleaner assembly off. Yeah, I don't know if this is mouse activity or the fact that it's a chipper shredder. All I'm seeing is that a little bit of wood fiber, so I'm thinking that's what we're dealing with is just the fact that it's a chipper shredder. We got another hose clamp over here. So this appears to be a pulse pump for fuel delivery. You would think it'd be gravity because the carburetor is lower than the bottom of the fuel tank, so gravity fed would work, or should work just fine, but this appears to be pulse pump, so maybe the fuel delivery issue is pulse pump, maybe it's gummed up fuel lines, I'm not sure, but we will figure that out. Boy, I cannot get in here. I may have to go grab my fuel line pliers, which I should have brought out with me. Okay guys, well the weather is getting a little iffy. I went inside, I looked, did my research, and found that I can get a brand new carburetor for this unit delivered to my house for $9.19. So it's really not even worth trying to rebuild this one. If I have time later and the weather's holding out, I might just pull it apart, see if we can get it to cleaned up enough to run on this one for now. But I gotta run out, so I'm gonna clean this mess up, put it away, and okay guys, I wanted to clean up that carburetor and try to see if we could get the engine running before I finish the video. Unfortunately, the rain has set in, and according to the forecast, it's gonna be raining for the next several days, and I really want to get the video out. It's been too long since I've had a video up, and I'm trying to get better about that. I apologize, life's been crazy lately. So we will go to a part 2 when the new carburetor arrives. We'll put it on, assess anything else the machine needs, and we'll move on from there. So thanks again for watching my videos. Please like, share, subscribe if you can. It really helps me out when you hit that like button on YouTube. It costs you nothing, but it does help me out. So until next time on the Busted Knuckle Workshop, stay tuned.